The spots we choose to run our pick and rolls are critical. In any pick and roll, we want to be able to attack in two directions, and the right spots allow us to do that. Our side pick and roll spot is top of the key extended, not free throw line extended. Most people want to run side pick and roll lower on the floor, whereas I believe you're more effective running them higher up on the floor. Higher on the floor means more space. More space to operate means tougher to defend, and we always want to be as tough to defend as possible in everything we do. Our high pick and roll spot is directly in the middle of the floor, as high up as the defense is guarding us. We want to run high pick and roll as high as the defense allows. If they guard us at 40 feet, we'll run our high pick and rolls at 40 feet. The more X1 pressures the ball, the more space he opens up for us to attack. We invite teams to extend their defense. Our angle spot is directly in between our high pick and roll and side pick and roll spots. It maximizes our ability to attack effectively in two directions. We are above top of the key extended, but off the midline as well. There is simply too much space in either direction, middle or baseline, for the next man to help. Our drag spot is the same as our angle spot. We want the guard in the alley higher up on the floor with space to attack. This gives the screener space to circle under the ball and get a great screening angle. It is the responsibility of the guard to run his defender, X1, into the screen. Setups are how we accomplish this. If we run X1 into the screen, we will be playing one-on-one versus the big. Our setups are in the opposite direction of where we want to attack. If we're going middle, we set up the defense to the baseline, and vice versa. We step or dribble in one direction to get the defender leaning that way, then change direction and run them into the screen. Setups off the catch are exactly the same. Instead of using the dribble, we use our jab game to get the defender leaning. Again, we jab or set our man up in the opposite direction of where we want to go. The setup freezes the defender and allows us to run him into the screen more effectively. If we're attacking baseline, our setup is middle. It's always opposite the direction we want to go. Ideally, we want to come off shoulder to shoulder with the screener. This ensures our defender is on our back if he goes over the screen. Shoulder to shoulder keeps X1 from avoiding the screen and getting back into the play. We allow no space between us and the defender. We are in constant search of space in our pick and roll attack. Pick and rolls are extremely difficult to defend when we have space to operate and create. Space allows us to attack in multiple directions. Space also gives us the freedom to make plays. Our goal is to come off every screen with our defender, X1, on our back. If X1 is trailing the play, we are playing one-on-one versus X5. If they aren't in front of us, they aren't guarding us. and if they aren't guarding us, we're getting to the rack.
111, 109. Felton to the basket.
Versus a blue or down coverage, we have two automatics. First, the guards start higher. Second, the bigs change their screening angle to set step-up screens. Higher gives us more room to attack, and step-up screens allow us to still set an effective physical screen. A soft show is one where the defender does not commit his entire body to stopping us. We destroy soft shows. If the defense is not active on their show, we treat it as a soft show. Once again, the defense must commit their entire body to stopping our attack. An arm wave simply doesn't slow us down. We are always in attack mode. We are constantly looking to turn the corner. Our mindset is stuck in attack mode. Traditional angle or step up, we have the same approach.
Side out of bounds and underneath out of bounds.
Rule number one is very simple. We go until we're stopped. The defense must stop us or live with the consequences. No matter what the defensive pick and roll coverage is, we attack until someone stops us. Hard shows are when the defense loses contact with the screener and gets above the level of the screen. We see a hard show, we know it's an automatic split. Our eyes get wide like a bear at a picnic. Anytime we see daylight between the screen and the show, we take it. We don't need much space at all to split. Ideally, we'd like to split as late as possible. We sell turn the corner, let X5 give us more space, then split it late. The ability to split pick and rolls separates good pick and roll players from great ones.
And that's Dwayne Wade's first shot of the...
We never want to settle when defenders go under versus us. When the defenders go under, we turn it into a foot race to the rim. If we really attack, X1 can't go under and get back in front of us. X1 can run with us, but can't ever get back in front of the ball to contain our drive. Running with us is very different from guarding or defending us. If they aren't under early, they'll never be able to level us off. Sometimes we might not be able to get to the rim versus under. Depending on our strengths, a stop behind jumper versus under may be a great shot for us. We take our time and make sure we get our feet set. There's no need to rush our jumper on the stop behind. We have extra time to set up if they go under. Rhythm jumpers versus under will change their coverage in a hurry.
And Nelson knocks down his first. 3.5 minutes left.
Another great tactic versus the under is a rescreen.
Screen from Ashik. And the screen works. Of Harris and Hayward.
After the first screen, X1 is not in a position to effectively direct the ball handler anymore.
Ball working behind the screen, dribble drive, all alone. In the paint. Extremely well. All day long.
One screen is hard to guard. A quick second screen is even tougher.
You can't go behind that pick. You go.
Jersey, one red jersey.
X1 tends to get buried in all the commotion.
The article came out just as the Sixers were hitting the losing streak. Williams.
In fact, halfway through that ball,
Changing directions versus under works even without a rescreen.
so they took him out, put in Courtney Lee. And Calderon out of there with the ball.
Changing directions buries your defender and he is unable to contain the dribble.
Rockets have to wait. Lynn on the drive, and that's goaltending. And Kawhi Leonard
X1 can't navigate the screen and contain the dribble.
Bruce Bowen, that type of defender, as Nash knocks the bench. Played only 22 minutes.
Bingo is my own unique terminology for not using the screen.
Crossover dribble with the looping shot hits a big one. In this game tonight.
We sell using the screen, get our defender leaning that way, then bingo it and beat him opposite.
He's been on the floor as of late.
Westbrook, look at that set. Up a hook and missed it.
When our defender is cheating towards the screen, we make him pay for it.
Down the lane, scooping. Back two.
This is why we always want the option of attacking in two directions, not just one. Again, we see why the spots we choose to run pick and rolls are so important.
Being able to find guys.
Directing the ball handler is easier said than done versus great guards.
Straight shots.
Versus a loose defender, X5 is shown here. We attack and split. We attack slow-footed bigs because they simply cannot contain us. We get X5 moving in one direction, then cross over and attack in the opposite direction. Bigs should not be able to contain our explosive change of direction. We come off the screen hard, change direction, and leave the bigs stuck in the mud. With this attack, we sell the split and beat X5 around his outside shoulder. We use a hard in and out dribble to sell the split. The in and out freezes X5, gets him leaning to the inside, and allows us to beat him to the outside. As always, we want the big leaning one way, then we beat him the opposite way. A hard dribble move turns X5 into a statue. A double crossover works too, but please understand there's only one CP3. Use responsibly. If X5 continues to retreat on our drive, we take the easy pull-up jumper. When X5 is too loose, we exploit that with the pull-up jump shot. We still come off the screen hard, stop on a dime, and knock down the J. Once again, we must explode off the screen. Everything we do is aggressive. Find your pocket of space and exploit their coverage. Our blue attack is similar to our loose attack. Here, we look to split the blue. Without X1 containing us, we go right at the slow-footed big. We sell the outside, get X5 leaning in that direction, then cross over and beat him to the middle. Bigs cannot defend our quick changes of direction in space. We can attack X5 in two ways, to the inside with the split or to the outside with turn the corner. This is our blue and outside attack. A hard in and out sells the split and forces the defender to lean in that direction. We then beat him to his outside shoulder. The in and out forces X5 to jump on the split. Now we beat him in the other direction. You can also use a straight speed attack to the outside as well if you have the burst to do so. Versus a retreating defender, we pull up in space for the jumper. If X5 is too loose in his blue, we expose him. Simply put, we take whatever X5 gives us. We will not allow X5 to sit back and not defend the ball. Just because the defense is bluing side pick and rolls does not mean we have to concede to their blue coverage. If we can get middle, that's what we do. Getting middle versus the blue kills their coverage. We do not want to settle versus switches.
5 seconds. Williams goes into 3 and goes to the hole.
We want to take our time, space the floor, attack the big, and get to the rim. Dwight Howard doesn't stand a chance here versus an aggressive LeBron. Slow-footed bigs simply cannot defend our quicker guards. Our goal is to make them pay for switching a big onto our guards.
Walker pulls back. Walker drives again, left-handed, flips it up and in.